Mike, you and I are from New York, so I'm going to just give this next one in a very New York manner that might not be fitting of the great state of Minnesota, but I will ask it on behalf of Vikings fans as if from New York. What the hell are the Vikings doing, Mike Tannenbaum?
I think
how about that?
There has to be a belief that Kevin O'Connell feels like, hey, I could go win multiple games with Kirk Cousins. And basically what you have to think about is, like, if I set him to a one-year extension, that gives me a couple of drafts now to get my footing as a head coach, to draft his replacement. I don't think you can win with Kirk Cousins, especially in the NFC, because you think about Stafford and Kyle Murray, Dak Prescott, obviously Rodgers, Brady. I mean, he's at best, in my opinion, sixth, maybe seventh best quarterback. I think you're just signing up for more mediocrity. But if you're a new head coach, Rich, at least maybe you're saying, hey, we're going to get O'Connell established.
It's just got to be I just can't imagine how a Vikings fan, and I say this with the ultimate of respect, and I know it sounds very disrespectful, so I feel like I've just immunized myself from being critical. But you just said he's the seventh best quarterback in the NFC. You include the AFC as well, then you're going to go at least half the league, right? This guy now gets a pay raise and has $55 million guaranteed by next March. What does that say about the system of our league then, Mike?
Yeah, Rich, it's a supply and demand with quarterbacks. I mean, Mitch Trubisky reportedly will be signing with Pittsburgh. If Mitch Trubisky and Jameis Winston was in this year's draft, in my opinion, they'd be the first quarterback taken. So Kirk Cousins, to me, is, as you just said, Rich, when you throw in the AFC, somewhere in the middle. And that's what $35 million a year gets you. It gets you mediocrity. But I guess the inverse is, if you don't have him, do you have any hope whatsoever?
Is that his leverage? That like a hostage taker? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Again, this is a leverage league. You got to have it or you don't. How does he keep having it? By saying, like, the alternative is worse, so you need to pay me like I'm Garrett Cole? I mean, it's all guaranteed. Like it's right? It's kind of crazy. It really is.
I think if you and I were running the Vikings, the honest, sober analysis is, if we let him leave,
right,
we're going to be looking at the Mitch Trubisky's, Marcus Mariota's of the world, Sam Howell from North Carolina, and that group of quarterbacks. And then you start thinking to yourself, like, well, all right, if we can get the defense good enough and we got a great running back in Dalvin Cook, maybe we can, win 10 games and, sneak a playoff win, and all of a sudden we're sitting there in the top 8. And that's what we're looking at. Because, and again, that's why when we look at Trubisky or what's going on with Deshaun Watson, there's so much interest in these quarterbacks, because while, Rich, there's 32 teams, there just isn't 32 quarterbacks.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.